AOC finally responded proudly concerning a high school yearbook photo that proves she grew up in a wealthy suburb. She said, "See, I told you I went to high school."
And I can tell you, I know that when I was waitressing and struggling to put food on the table, for a while there, I did. I tried to stop caring. I tried to just keep my head down, work my shifts, and accept that this is just how things are. But that is no way to live, Arizona. It's no way to live. What I do know is that we don't have to live like this. And in fact, we cannot live like this anymore.
This is ridiculous.
Hello to everybody. Here's the thing, though. As you are undoubtedly aware, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC, is the center of attention right now.
Nonsense from like AOC that he should be impeached is just absurd. Absurd. There's no... Okay, get back to me when you've read the Constitution or get a law degree, because you sound like an... There is absolutely no ground to impeach the president. He 100% was within his constitutional authority and his congressionally authorized authority to do what he did.
AOC. What? She's kind of fun in a silly but earnest, wrong but adorable way. She's like your daughter when she comes back from her first year at Brown, full of half-baked, half opinions, in need of some gentle, patient deprogramming. But people have to realize new faces doesn't mean new ideas. Drives me crazy. AOC has never introduced a fresh idea or issue in her.
What do Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly, two of the media's most vocal voices, think about AOC's political kaleidoscope? To put it simply, everything is not sunshine and butterflies.
She's like an 80-year-old leftist in a used bookstore. I mean, she may look fresh, but she's as stale as an abandoned futon on the street. It's like, I listen to her, I go, I heard that at Berkeley in 1983. So their problem is, and the reason why they don't have any ideas is they operate on half opinions.
They are criticizing her alleged facade, her viral antics, and wait for it, even her congressional performance, which they perceive as a form of contemporary political theater.
So by now you heard that AOC, among others, were arrested last night. She truly is an American hero. It was brutal, taken out in cuffs. Well, technically her shirt had cuffs. Maybe French cuffs, as she did surrender with.
This isn't just criticism, really, it's like an unavoidable roast. Greg and Megyn are revealing the whole truth about AOC, not just picking faults.
For whether it's a good idea, that's a debate we should be having. And look, if we could get congressional approval of the specific action, fine, I'm okay with that too. If you want to bring it to Congress, go ahead and see how that goes. I don't think it's necessary, but...
From her high school years and what they suggest was a wealthy Westchester suburb to her ascent to Congress, her storyline conflicts with their reality check. It's compelling, thorough, and yes, it evokes strong feelings.
Oh, let's do it. What happens? You have repeat criminals wreaking havoc. What if we have sanctuary cities? Hey, let's do it. What happens? Finding sanctuary, safe haven. What if we give trans rights? Oh, you just ruin women's sports. You ruin safe spaces. You make kids' lives hell.
I promise you won't want to miss the way they reveal the facets of her political performance or, as some might say, her premeditated act. However, be sure to subscribe before you go further. For what reason? Because we're constantly delving into these trending subjects, and your support keeps us going while also guaranteeing that you never miss a beat. So please click the subscribe button and join our expanding discussion. Now, let's embark on this crazy journey. What actually transpired, then, when Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly chose to challenge Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Gutfeld is the first to jump right in with his typical scathing criticism.
But if her pants had cuffs, she would have pretended to be in leg irons too. But real handcuffs, not so much. But that didn't stop her from pretending, and I hate it when people do this to me. When I ask people to put on handcuffs and they say, I'll just pretend I have them on, I'd be like, sure, and I'll pretend to pay you.
This man doesn't hold back. I promise, first, he attacks AOC's fixation on social media. Her ability to make every Instagram post into a spectacular spectacle seems to be a real mystery to him.
Respectfully, AOC. Well, that's real cute, except she only lived in the Bronx until she was age 5, when at best you're in usually kindergarten, maybe first grade. And she spent the rest of her childhood, 1 through 12th grade, in Yorktown Heights, which is Westchester. And by any measure, it is richer, nicer, and more white collar than the Bronx, with all due respect to my friends.
You would think that a member of Congress would be more concerned with enacting legislation than using TikToks. For example, AOC uses her social media accounts as a platform for her own reality show. According to Gutfeld, he notes that she frequently posts these sentimental, dramatic Instagram lives, transforming them into a sort of State of the Union speech, but for a younger, more active audience. Greg implies that her online persona is a strategic move, a performance that has been meticulously planned to enhance her reputation without significantly influencing policy change. These are not merely casual statements. Gutfeld then takes a different approach, concentrating on AOC during congressional sessions. He describes how she frequently tackles debates and legislative talks with more drama than substance, giving a clear image of her theatrical flair. It feels to Greg that she's on a stage where every argument escalates into a dramatic altercation as cameras record every detail for her fan base on the internet. We may all be asking ourselves, is this all a bit much at this point? After that, attention turns to the Green New Deal, one of her most ambitious ideas. Greg doesn't hold back when he describes it as more of a childish fantasy than a revolutionary legislative attempt. He even likens it to a last-minute school assignment, omitting important facts like its viability from an economic standpoint. He expresses doubts about her idea's practical implementation and suggests that they frequently lack the thorough study required to withstand the test of time.
AOC was on 60 Minutes last night. Quite a feat for a newcomer. Must be all her great new ideas.
People are going to have to start paying their fair share in taxes. Once you get to like the tippy tops, on your $10 millionth dollar, sometimes you see tax rates as high as 60 or 70%.
What an expression. Now, the real story isn't AOC's very old ideas. It's the media's gushy view of her. Even with her old ideas,
In contrast to Gutfeld's use of comedy and derision, Megyn Kelly critiques AOC with greater precision. Although AOC talks with the assurance of an informed person, Kelly contends that her proposals frequently rely more on catchphrases than sound policies. She says AOC's speeches are more inspirational than educational, which she views as a governance flaw. She compares them to motivational speeches, which are strong on emotion and weak on structure. Kelly also criticizes AOC's dramatic protest arrest, claiming that the handcuffs are a theatrical ploy that demonstrates a tendency toward symbolism rather than substance. Gutfeld and Kelly both criticize AOC's taxation and income-sharing policies. Gutfeld, who imagines her policy sessions full of influencers rather than experts, dismisses them as outmoded economic fantasies. Both concur that her ideas are frequently not implemented in real life. In her critique of capitalism and socialism, Gutfeld questions the economic foundation of her use of catchy sound bites. They analyze AOC's everyman narrative as well. Kelly draws a distinction between the suffering she suggests and her real Yorktown Heights upbringing. She claims that in an all-too-typical political development, AOC has assimilated into the very system that she previously opposed.
Check in on AOC and see what she has to say.
Any quick reaction
Top
on what's
five.
going on with Elon Musk and President Trump on Twitter right now?
Oh man, the girls are fighting, aren't they? I think this breakup we've been
Misgender.
seeing a long time coming, but we'll see what the impacts are of it legislatively.
Okay. You're so cool referring to them as the girls. She's above it all, Ben. That's what she's trying to telegraph. You see, she's the adult in the room, the one out there who does a preacher accent, and she leans into her fake Latina accent. And she's the
AOC's ability to transform ordinary political occasions into branding moments is noted by Gutfeld, who implies that she is more concerned with enhancing her reputation than advancing legislation. Her public appearances, including speeches, tweets, and viral videos, are seen by both him and Megyn Kelly as staged actions intended to garner attention rather than make an impression. They contend that her enthusiasm frequently seems more like deliberate optics. Ultimately, both concur that although AOC garners a sizable online following and sparks debate, her real task will be moving past platitudes to actual policy change. What do you think? Then, did Greg and Megyn get it right, or is AOC's political game more complex? Let's discuss by leaving a comment below.